We've aired down, we've hit the dirt road.
Got our first glimpse of a beautiful rainbow-coloured escarpment on the edge of ancient clay pans. Imagine what sunset's going to be like.
Put all the directions in, all went pear-shaped. It said no through roads. Got lost in the Outback. The road into Chambers Pillar is quite rough.
On the western fringe of the Simpson Desert.
Very gnarly coming up that rise, heading down to Chambers Pillar that glows like an ember. So what's happening?
Well, we're halfway up and we're stuck. Yeah, we're going to have to winch up.
Don't you love this community? Heading out to explore Trephina Gorge.
Scenery is spectacular.
Heading down a four-wheel drive track.
Beautiful rock art. We've just arrived at N'Dhala Gorge, an amazing number of petroglyphs.
Yeah, we come out these places looking for adventure and boy, have we found it. All right, guys, let's get going. We'll see you out there. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Art Zone Travel's Off-Grid Ventures. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We're Pete and Tan. We traverse Australia caravanning full-time, living and working in our off-road caravan, and love getting off the beaten track, exploring its stunning destinations and diverse landscapes. Our mission is to beautifully capture Australia, informing and inspiring others through our long-form videos and visual storytelling. In this episode, we take you deep into the heart of Central Australia. As we air down and fire up the four-wheel drive, we head off the beaten track to discover some of the Northern Territory's most remote desert gems. We kick off through Rainbow Valley, where sandstone cliffs blaze with colour in the late afternoon light. And we then push even further into the red centre to reach the towering monolith of Chambers Pillar. But the real adventure? Trying to get back out. The infamous jump up nearly stops us in our tracks and things get a little bit hairy, but the travel community kicks in as always, and thank goodness. Then it's time to slow things down and soak up the rugged beauty of the East MacDonnell Ranges. Our base is the stunning panorama campground at Trephina Gorge, surrounded by red cliffs, ghost gums, and some of the clearest outback skies you'll ever see. From here, we hike through the beautiful ancient landscapes of Trephina Gorge and N'Dhala Gorge, home to thousands of petroglyphs and sacred Arrernte sites. Along the way, we take a four-wheel drive track to explore the John Hayes Waterhole, stop in at beautiful Emily and Jessie's Gap, and visit the spiritual site of Corroboree Rock. So buckle up, this one is going to be unforgettable, an outback central desert journey that you don't want to miss. G'day everyone.
How you going?
So here we are at the beginning of a new adventure. This time we are heading down to Rainbow Valley and Chambers Pillars and a few other exciting locations. So where this area is located is just southeast of Alice Springs. It's about an hour's drive south.
Yeah, so we've just pulled over. We've come off the Stewart Highway and we've hit the dirt road and we can see that it's corrugated already. So we've stopped. We've aired down to about 28 psi. That should be fine for this road, but we'll let you know if it isn't. And we're about a half an hour's drive to actually get into Rainbow Valley. So not a big drive on day one, but it's good to get back out into the dirt, the red dirt.
You know what? I've got a tip for today. Fly nets.
Fly nets.
All right, guys, let's get going. We'll see you out there. Okay, so we're on our way. Just then when we stopped on the side of the road, I looked down through all the dry grasses, where we were having coffee. And there's all these beautiful little, I don't know what they are, desert daisies and all these little tiny yellow wildflowers. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm looking forward to seeing if there's any more out here along this way. The other thing that's so gorgeous is the beautiful wattle that's in flower. So I just wanted to say where we're heading out here in this southeast area of Alice Springs. There's no water, there's no fuel, food. So what we did was yesterday, we did duck up to Alice Springs for a night and we just stocked up on absolutely everything. It was a huge shop, so that's going to take us through the next couple of weeks out here exploring this south-east area of Alice Springs and then the East Macs too. So more about the East Macs later. So yeah, everything. Great stock up. We're really happy. We're full of water, we're full of fuel, we've got the diesel and the petrol. So yeah, ready to roll. We've got about a half an hour drive to get out to our campground at Rainbow Valley, and it's apparently really close to these very significant geological formations. It's a bit like a mini version of the Painted Desert.
I just want to have a chat to you about the national parks and how they sort of work in terms of the permits. So there is an overall permit for a national park which you can get, so it doesn't matter what national park you're in, except for Uluru is one, I think the other one's Katajuka. And so it's a year pass is $60 per person. So we got that because the way that Northern Territories works, that you can get a permit for a day or for 2 weeks or a year. So the next thing is you need, in some of the parks, you need to obviously have camping fees as well. So generally they're about $10 per person. It's pretty good. And a lot of them have got facilities. So a big tick there for the Northern Territory government. All of it now has to be booked online, so it can be a little bit tricky to book it if you don't have coverage, either mobile coverage or a Starlink or something like that. So just be organised before you head off out this way, and then just book it online, and you can pay it online.
So because we're mostly off-grid, what we do is we're actually quite meticulous with our whoa, here's a whole bunch every time I turn the camera on. I think, oh no, here's a flatbed, I'll do a talk now, and then
nowhere to hide.
Goes to custard. Anyway, so what I wanted to say was, with our groceries, Pete and I are quite meticulous because we go off grid a lot. We actually do a very exact list. Say, for example, if we're going into one area, we'll count the number of nights and days we're out there, and we'll write, our lists for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, everything we need to an exacting, because otherwise, if we overshop, you fill your freezer with more than you need, you fill your cupboards and drawers with more than you need, and that's not really great when you're living in a small space full time. So so as I say, we write a list, and that's where that click and collect is good too, because instead of having to go into the supermarket, which takes up time, you can just simply run in there and collect your groceries. Real time saver and a real money saver.
Tan said about us having to come into Alice and get supplies, which is very true. It's a great town. It's got lots of facilities, 2 really good supermarkets.
Oh wow, just coming past a whole little family of beautiful desert oaks. I just absolutely love these desert oaks in Central Australia. They are so beautiful. Okay, so we've just got our first glimpse of that beautiful rainbow coloured escarpment. It's like I'm having to take my sunnies off, because even with my polarised sunnies, it looks bright. And yeah, when I take them off, it's still just as intense in those colours. God, blimey, imagine what sunset's going to be like tonight.
Withdrawal symptoms from the painted desert, and we come out here to the Rainbow Valley, and it's a mini-me. You're going to love this.
Is this Pete?
Oh, fantastic. Have your own fire pit. Look at the facilities here. This is just a cracking fire pit. So I reckon we might have steak, mushrooms and roast vegetables in the coals. Can't wait.
Absolutely perfect. Sounds great. And even better, just to top it off, we have got our very own sand dune viewing platform. Okay, so this is the actual Rainbow Valley formation here. And you can see here, this is the main Rainbow Valley campground. And this one up here is the bush campground. So that's where we are in site number 3. Rainbow Valley was mainly occupied and used for ceremonies when the rains came. At those times, Aboriginal people made the most of what nature offered. Seeds from plants and trees were gathered and crushed in grindstones to make bread, and stone tools were used for scraping and cutting. When the water here ran out, people moved on to find more permanent waterholes elsewhere. So we're now walking in right in behind that escarpment, and we're walking up through a valley. Don't know what's around the corner, but I can see another whole new rock form through there. So we're now standing before Mushroom Rock, a weathered and unusually shaped sandstone outcrop. Wind and water have shaped this soft rock over millions of years to create the honeycomb appearance that we're looking at right now. So up inside here, in some of the little nooks and crannies, there's some bottle-shaped nests, and these are the nests of the little birds called fairy martins. So these little nests are built out of mud and lined with grass pallets. How beautiful are they? At Rainbow Valley, the dunes meet the ranges in a place of stunning contrasts. For the upper southern Arrernte people, the place here before us is a bush tucker dreaming site and an important ceremony place. Okay, so we've come back down here to watch the sun go down, and we've got the tripod, we've got a few bits of camera equipment. No drones in this particular area.
There's certain parks in Northern Territories. There's some that you can fly drones, and this one is a sacred site, so we respect that. So yeah, we'll head up, we'll find a spot. So if you don't see any of those beautiful drone shots that we dearly love doing, that's why.
Alrighty guys, enjoy. Morning everyone. So last night we obviously didn't get to come up here to the beautiful red sand dune behind our campsite, nor did we get to have a campfire because, as you saw, we were out there on that clay pan filming Rainbow Valley. So what I'm doing now is we're just walking up this path that takes you up to the top of this sand dune, because before we leave here today, I just wanted to take one last look of this beautiful spectacle. Okay, let's get to the top. Wow, and can I say, that was worth the climb. Check this out. So here's obviously Rainbow Valley, and just as we swing around here, this is where we're camping, just down here. So this is the bush camping area, which is the furthest away from Rainbow Valley, but nevertheless it's been lovely down here. Okay, so I better get back to packing down the van, and yeah, we'll have a chat to you when we're on our way about where we're heading today. So we've just turned in onto a track. We're outside of the conservation area now, and we are running alongside the border, and yeah, heading on a whole new adventure today. So we can't control our laughter because we've turned right down this little outback track. Anyway.
All right, so, try to do the best you can to plan. So I put all the directions into offline maps, and of course we took off, all went pear-shaped. So now we're going down this dirt track, and as we drove past this small track, it said no through road. So
look, it's very narrow. Luckily, at the moment, there is shrubs and mulga bush and trees either side. It's pretty clear, so we are just moving on through. We'll see where it takes us. We've had a couple of instances like this before where we've gone, well, you know what, if the road leads to nowhere, we're just going to have to pull up out there somewhere in the grasslands and camp up for the night. We're hoping it doesn't do that though, so fingers crossed.
You can see people have travelled this quite regularly, so hope no one comes the other way because it's a bit squeezy. Yeah, we just went across the railway line, and all of a sudden this road now is sort of getting smaller, and you can see by the tyre tracks there's more trees. So yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but you know what? All these things happen unexpectedly. You just do not know what a new day is going to bring. Okay, well, we'll take you along on the ride. Should be very interesting. So isn't it funny the conversations you have when you're like driving these miles of track and beautiful scenery, but you have lots of great chats. So this morning, what's come up is this. So we're just going, how proud are we of Zoe? So Zoe's this Sojourn that we're towing behind us. Hey, we give all our vans names and nicknames and names. I'm sure we're not the only ones. Do you guys name your vans like we do? Listen, if you do, drop them in the comments below so that everyone can see, because we've had a lot of fun over the years naming our vans.
Yeah, we had 3 zones or 3 caravans, and the first one was called Expo because it was an expedition, and the second one was called Basey because it was a base, zone base, and we've We've gone a little bit off script with the sojourn. We've gone Zoe as in zone. Zoe.
Yeah.
So
we're so proud of Zoe because, like, look at her. She is literally out in the middle of nowhere.
It's in the thick of it.
Out on an outback track somewhere. You know, I mean, she's amazing. Like, you know, what we've put her through in the last 18 months. We're so proud. Look at her. Okay, spoke too soon. Up here is a tree branch that is way too low for our liking, so we're gonna have to sidetrack it. So yeah, fingers crossed.
It was at this point we decided to backtrack to the Stuart Highway, and we hit the Hugh River stock route instead, which took us over to Merivale Station.
So we're now coming on to the Hugh River stock route. Now this will take us down to an intersection where we'll turn right and it'll take it then down to Chambers Pillar. So the road's pretty good so far, quite enjoying it. The scenery is spectacular, and I think we might have lunch soon.
Yeah, so it's definitely time to stop and grab a bite to eat up the road here a little bit. It's really interesting, isn't it? That sense of adventure is almost like at the same time sitting on a fine line of nervousness. So, you know, it's like, well, where are we? We kind of know where we're going, but, you know, what is ahead? Anyway, so we're feeling more comfortable now. The road has widened. We seem to be going a lot faster, and yeah, we sort of really got a good idea now of where we're heading. All right, guys, see you up the track. Behind me there is the entry to Merivale Station. Just for the time being though, we're going to just stop for a break, have some lunch, and make some decisions about where we're going to camp tonight. Okay, see you soon.
So we've had a bit of a change of plans. We've decided that we would keep going through the Chambers Pillar. We're going to go to Merivale, which is an Indigenous community, but they've got a fuel station there where we can get fuel. However, along this road, this is where the famous Fink races are held. Not on this road, but just over there, you'll see there are signs for the rally drivers to know what's coming up ahead. So about 4 weeks ago, this road and the track would have been chockers full of cars and people, and lots of activity, lots of fun, lots of crashes. So we've just left Merivale and fueled up there. They have unleaded and diesel in there. So it was pretty good. And when I went into the shop, I had a look around, and it's well stocked. A lot of fresh fruit and vegetables in there, and a lot of groceries. So the track down to Merivale was fantastic, but since we've left it, it's horrific. It's absolutely rutted. There's so many sort of sand dunes going through it. It's not a well-travelled road, you can tell by that, but I think, you know, an hour is predicted by Google Maps. I think we'll be looking at maybe 2. So it's 3 o'clock now. We should just get in there just as the sun starts to set.
Wow, that was very gnarly coming up that rise there. The tyres were slipping a little bit and we were going, go Fordsy, go, get us up the hill. We were leaning forward, we were putting everything into it. We got up here and now we're up on this huge escarpment. You can see right over to the east, the north, the west, the south, and from here we can see the very tips of the pillars and just the top of Chambers Pillar. So anyway, Pete's about to put the drone up and you'll be able to see the track that's going to take us straight into where we want to go. So excited to be here.
Look at it. There it is over there. It's just amazing.
Doesn't it stand out?
The redness and the white, like the red on the top and then the white underneath. It's just incredible.
That's mind-blowing. Wow, look at this one over here.
Yeah.
It's been a long day, but I tell you what, when you arrive at landscapes like this, it makes every ounce of it, every bump, every corrugation, every steep hill climb, so worth it. Have a look at this. Got to say, pretty happy with our campsite.
We're at the campsite that's closest to the pillars, not the bush camping this time.
Oh, have a look at this, Tony. It's just absolutely magnificent. Look, it's been a big day getting in here. Looking forward to chilling out, so we'll see you guys in the morning.
Time to pack down the van, get ready for sunset drinks.
Holy cow, look at that.
Chambers Pillar Historical Reserve is a 340 hectare reserve protecting a heritage site that is sacred to the Arrernte people and of historical significance for other Australians. Its main feature, Chambers Pillar, is a sandstone column towering 50 metres above the surrounding plain. For Arrernte people, it is a place to learn a story about the consequences of marrying someone from the wrong skin group. For other Australians, it is a site where early explorers visited whilst travelling north from South Australia. Here, they etched their names in the pillar, and these have become historical records of their visits. John McDouall Stuart first visited here in 1860 and named it Chambers Pillar after James Chambers, one of his South Australian sponsors. Amazingly, we're now actually standing on the western fringe of the Simpson Desert. What an epic journey. We're just standing at the top of the lookout and reading all about the Scottish explorer, John McDouall Stuart. He arrived at this prominent landmark on 6th of April 1860. Stuart was on his first bold attempt to cross the unknown land that separated South Australia from the north coast. It wasn't until his third expedition in 1862 that he was successful. This showed the way for the construction of the telegraph line across the continent, which in turn brought white settlement to Central Australia. The country here has changed very little since Stuart's visit. We're looking over the sandhills now, just imagining what it must have been like struggling through this country on horseback and not even knowing where or when you might find the next waterhole. Good morning. So here we are, we're leaving Chambers Gorge campground this morning. It has been a really good little campground. People generally come in here and just stay 1 or 2 nights max, so there's a bit of a turnover. We stayed 2 nights and really glad that we did, because we got to see, a couple of nice sunsets and a couple of nice sunrises, so that's been awesome. We just wanted to point out too that I don't know that we would probably bring our big caravan in here again. Unless you're really confident. It's one of those things where when we came over the rise the other day, you would have seen us, come in here, and I showed that in the footage before. It was that descent coming down the hill that was a little bit hairy. A lot of loose gravel, a lot of loose rock, and a couple of big holes. So we've got the challenge of getting up that hill today. Otherwise, we're trying to research another track, how to exit this area and get back up to Merivale. Just be aware, guys. Do your research. Probably more suited to 4-wheel drives, tent toppers, tenters, and small hybrids. Yeah, so just check with national parks before you come in on the conditions of the roads would probably be our recommendations. We're heading out with a couple of other campers who've got the same concerns of getting up that rise. So we'll keep you posted. Okay, so we're just coming up to the ascent now. So we're the 3 of us are going to stop, have a bit of a powwow, and see. I think the guys are going to walk it and have a good look at it, and then we'll make an assessment after that whether we're going to tackle it or not. There's been a few different ideas, but anyway, we're just pulling up now, so we'll get back to you in a minute on that.
It's a very tricky piece of jump up. Vans up, and then we'll get some people out and have people at certain points put chocks in case we slip over.
Okay, so a few of us are walking up the hill and we're getting some chocks ready just in case something starts to slip back, and we're just getting rid of any old loose gravelly rocks. Okay, I'll see you up there.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, well done, Pete. So what's happening?
We're halfway up and we're stuck, so I can't get any tension. The rocks are so gravelly.
Yep.
And we got like over 6 tons trying to pull it up. So
Yep.
this is why we've organised with a couple of other guys. One guy's got a winch, so yeah, we're going to have to be winched up, which is the first time ever.
Yeah, alrighty. So grateful we were with these guys this morning.
Absolutely.
All right.
They're troopers.
Do you need any more chucking on the other side?
No, I've got it on. I got the brakes on.
Yep.
So, but I'm going to need to get a point for him to hook onto,
Yep.
and I need you to help me with that.
Yep.
Alright, just let me get the tension and then just load up and have the old.
Alrighty, so Pete got through. Thank goodness for fellow travel buddies. So yeah, got him to the top. What a relief. So now we've just got to get our other buddies here with the cruiser and the latest Caravan up. Should be all good. Yeah, we've got chocks already up the track. And let's see how we go second time round. Alrighty, so here comes the cruiser and the Lotus. It is a little bit heavier than the Zone, so you'll just need to give it some of those horsepowers. Okay, here we go. Woohoo! And we're all through. Don't you love this community? Bloody awesome. Hey, what a team! Never say never! Woohoo! Hey, thanks Kirsty and your hubby for getting us out of a tricky one today.
Happy to help.
It's a bit of an adventure for the kids.
It was good fun.
What they think?
They loved it.
A good campfire story to tell.
Absolutely. They'll go home and tell everyone in Adelaide.
All right, I think we're going to have a good one tonight.
All right, enjoy.
Yeah.
You've earned it.
Alrighty, what a day. I think we said at the end of the last episode that we have those kind of days. The destination for tonight is Trephina Gorge, which is the beginning of our journey into the East Macs, so East MacDonnell Ranges. So, but what we thought was we do need to go back in through Alice and then turn east and head out there. So what we're going to do is again, you know, top up on water, diesel, and just a little bit more food. So we probably won't get into camp tonight till about 5. We've got a campsite booked out there, a really nice big one at the back of the campground, which means we can just drive in and not unhitch and put our feet up and go, wow, congratulations, we got through today.
Have a beer.
And have a beer. Okay, alrighty guys, we'll see you up there. So we're just looking at the information board here, which is really helpful. They've listed all the walks and their difficulty levels and how long it takes, etc., and what the conditions of the track are like. So we've chosen to do Trephina Gorge walk today. So what they're saying about that is it's a moderate walk along the rim of the gorge. There's elevated scenic views, thumbs up. It's suitable for most ages and fitness levels. That sounds like just the ticket for us today. Wow, we've only come about 500 metres up into this walk and we've turned around, and you know what, if there was no other part of this walk today, we would be stoked, because check this out. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my gosh. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm thinking of you, Lizzie Bailey, because just walked around the corner and there is just carpets of beautiful colour and wildflowers, and it's rich and it's beautiful. And it's a very gentle yet grand landscape. Oh, I could camp up here. I could bring my swag up. I could just like camp. I could live here. It's so beautiful. The track is really well marked too. It's got all those little red arrows to point out which turn to take next. So it just makes for a much more sort of reassuring and comfortable hike. And can I say, there's a few little rocks to hop and navigate. However, it is a really doable and accessible walk. How good is that?
So that's why I reckon it pays to slow down as you're walking through these places. We're walking back along the creek bed towards the camp, and I look up and I can see these markings underneath this rock face. Absolutely beautiful rock art. I'll get my iPhone out, see if I can zoom in for you. Wow, guys, if you're near Alice Springs, if you're in the Red Centre, please come up to this beautiful spot, Trephina Gorge. It's magnificent.
It's got a lovely little walk. You walk along the ridge and then you walk down the escarpment and then finish off walking back up at the creek. So
Yeah, there's
I like it.
lot of different aspects to
Yeah.
it.
So this afternoon we are heading out to explore some other parts of Trephina Gorge, and what we are really excited about is to see this really beautiful, significant white ghost gum out here. So Trephina Gorge ghost gum, it's not just a tree, it's actually a living monument. It's the tallest and one of the oldest ghost gums in Australia, and visually stunning. And we're so looking forward to going up and giving it a big hug. This magnificent tree has been measured at 33 metres tall and is estimated to be over 300 years old. It's listed in the Northern Territory Register of Significant Trees and is recognised as the largest ghost gum in the country by the National Register of Big Trees. So we're now heading down a four-wheel drive track to the John Hayes rock holes. It's nestled within a gorge with steep, really towering quartzite walls. And I was reading that when the water is in here, it is icy cold, even in the warmer months. So we'll take a little walk up and see what we can see. Good morning, everyone. Well, this morning we are heading down to Emily and Jessie's Gap. These two sites are significant to the Eastern Arrernte people because it's a very important part of the caterpillar dreaming story, which tells of how this area was formed. There is rock art down at Emily's Gap, but visitors are asked not to photograph it. So what I might do is I'll see if I can describe it to you. Anyway, looking forward to getting down there. Okay, so here we are at Jessie's Gap. There's a car park there and it's really not too far to walk into the gap itself. Emily Gap is a cultural site of major importance. It's part of the storyline for the three caterpillars, which are ancestral beings for Alice Springs area. The traditional owners of this area consider themselves direct descendants of these caterpillar ancestors. So now what we're doing, guys, is we're going up to Jessie's Gap. Here, the emu storyline also has a relationship with this area. Now coming up to the Indigenous rock art. We're not allowed to photograph it, so I'm going to try and describe it to you. Wow, so what I'm looking at is a section of the rock. It's about 2 meters tall, it's about 1 meter wide, and it drops right down to the ground. And it is a very strong marking. So stripes, and it's sort of like rust red, and then a very pronounced sandy white stripe. I don't know how they've done it. It's just absolutely beautiful, very powerful. And there's a whole beautiful like little chandelier of these mauve daisies hanging down over the top of it. And the shadows of those is scintillating against the pattern. It's just very, very beautiful, and very grateful to be able to be here and see these ancient rock markings.
You took me by surprise. I did not see it coming.
Heading over to Corroboree Rock now. It is a conservation reserve, and it's very important also to the Arrernte people. And it is a very significant sacred men's site and still plays an important role in today's culture.
N'Dhala Gorge is where we have trekked to this morning. Wow, what an absolutely beautiful drive through country this morning. So it's taken us, just under an hour?
Just under an hour from Trephina, so it's not a hard drive. It's beautiful country out here.
So we've driven through a couple of valleys, over a couple of dry, very large riverbeds lined with gorgeous gums, through lots of grasslands, winding and turning through the country. The drive itself's just been magnificent. Out here where we've just arrived at N'Dhala Gorge, there is a really small campground. There's 2 sites and there's a really nice day use area, a couple of picnic tables and a bush toilet here. So we're just going to have some morning tea first and then we're going to head up into the gorge. I think it takes about an hour return, so we'll take you along with us. Really looking forward to it.
So we're here, so we're going to start off here and then make our way up, right up into the gorge and see all the different aspects. There's petroglyphs there which are of huge cultural significance to the Indigenous people. There are signs, blue arrows to show you where to go on the way up there, and there is some interpretive signs that you can read to help you understand what you're seeing.
This park is literally like an open-air museum. It protects an amazing number of petroglyphs, which are Aboriginal rock carvings. They're an important record of the culture of the Eastern Arrernte people. This culture has remained strong for many thousands of years in this harsh country. Present-day traditional owners are responsible for the care of this site and the messages and stories associated with it. This gorge is a cultural treasure house with many petroglyphs, which are recordings of stories and art formed by the Eastern Arrernte ancestors and are still part of their living culture. There are also several art sites, shelter areas and other sites of spiritual significance. The petroglyphs are of 2 styles, the finely pecked and the pounded. They possibly represent 2 time periods. It's difficult to estimate the age of the art, but most probably within the past 2,000 years. But some could be as old as even 10,000 years. So we've come up to our first rock art. It's called the Caterpillar Dreaming Story. Of the large number of petroglyphs in this gorge, most are stylised symbols of circles and lines like this. Arrernte custodians say that this set of petroglyphs tells the story of the life cycle of 2 caterpillars. This is a part of a creation or dreamtime story where spirit ancestors roamed the land, creating all living things, the landscape, language and lore. Parts of the story are also set in the sheer sandstone walls. This rock art we're looking at here has about 5 pronounced symbols, and it's mostly about the butterfly crawling along after coming out and testing its wings until it can fly. And there's a star at the top, and this is the flying butterfly, and testing its wings as they dry. Look at that. These are like beautiful little birds' nests. I can't remember the name of the bird, but isn't that quaint? So beautiful. So I'm reading an information board here and it's titled Pounded or Pecked. So according to Arrernte beliefs, these petroglyphs date back to the dream time. Archaeologists believe they were made using two techniques. Pounded petroglyphs are usually simple designs with thick, shallow and ragged outlines, and these were done by hitting a hard rock directly onto a flat surface. Pecking was done by holding a sharp stone against a rock and striking it with a heavier stone, and this is the most common technique used in this gorge. How beautiful are all these textures in these rocks, and there's just like thousands and thousands of caves and nooks and crannies in amongst these rock walls. It feels like we're surrounded, like we're in a bowl of beautiful rocky mountains, and down here on the flatlands there's waterholes and grasslands. It really is an oasis. It just feels so peaceful here.
As the last light fades across the red cliffs and desert silence settles in, we're reminded that journeys like these are never just about the places. They're about the spirit of adventure, the resilience it takes to keep going, and the unexpected connections along the way. The long days on the road, the challenges of rough tracks, steep jump ups and remote terrain, they test you. But every bump, every detour and every dusty mile is so worth it when you find yourself in landscapes as raw and powerful as these. Out here in the East MacDonnell Ranges beneath ancient skies, these places teach you patience, perspective and the importance of treading lightly. And when things don't go to plan, as they so often don't in the Outback, we're reminded of the power of community, fellow travellers offering a helping hand, a smile, or even just a laugh. From the timeless beauty of Trephina and N'Dhala Gorges to the remote majesty of Chambers Pillar and Rainbow Valley, this journey gave us more than we could have asked for. Thanks for coming along on the ride. Wherever your road takes you, may it be filled with adventure, kind strangers, and the kind of moments that stay with you long after the dust settles. Thanks for your company and also for watching the ads through. It really does help our channel grow. And if you're enjoying our content, don't forget to give our video a like, leave a comment below, let us know what you enjoyed the most, and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay curious, keep inspired, and keep connected to Australia's great outdoors.